The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, show number 682. Welcome to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. I am Mark Gunn. This podcast is for fans of Celtic music. If that's you, please follow the show right now. It is here to build a diverse Celtic community and help the incredible artists who so generously share their music with you. If you hear music you love, please email the artists. Let them know you heard them on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Musicians depend on your generosity to keep making music, so please find a way to support them. Buy a CD, album, pen, shirt, digital download, or join their community on Patreon. You can find a link to all the artists in the show notes along with showtimes when you visit our website at CelticMusicPodcast.com. I am back from Scotland. I had an absolutely amazing Celtic invasion of the whiskey of Scotland, and we went whiskey tasting and hiking. And actually, you know, when I originally went, I had a hypothesis that if you've been to one Scottish whiskey distillery, you've been to them all. And that's based to a few that I've been to. But I was really wrong. I don't remember how many we went to where we actually took the tour. I think maybe 4, at least 3, but maybe 4 where we actually took a tour. And I learned something at all of them. And plus, they all had some great stories. And that was the fun part. Well, one of the fun parts, tasting the whiskey, was, you know, the funnest part. But we had a great time. We got to do some hiking. I learned a lot. So next time I do one of these whiskey and hiking trips, I have some better ideas to make it even better. I also got a great interview with Brother C. I'll be sharing that probably early December, so stay tuned for that. But all in all, it was a spectacular trip, and now I'm all prepped for my releasing my Celtic Invasion of Galicia, which is going to be next year, next summer. That's the only one I'm planning at present. I'm not planning to do anything else. It was a bad timing for doing this trip this year, so probably not going to do another one in the fall like this, or at least not for a while. We shall see. But any case, if you want to be a part of the Celtic Invasion of Galicia, then head on over to CelticInvasion.com and make sure you sign up to the mailing list, because I'll be emailing hopefully this week. So stay tuned for that. I am still looking for potential Celtic designs to highlight for the 2025 season. These ones will be part of our general branding for the year. So I will accept submissions until the end of November. I will contact you if your design is picked, so please email those designs to me as soon as possible. You can send it to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. New episodes of Celtic Christmas music are coming to the Podiverse. I'm planning the first episode of the new season to be released on November 17th. That's right before Thanksgiving, so that you can start enjoying Celtic Christmas music as soon as you are ready to listen. The current plan is to release weekly episodes, but we shall see if I can pull that off. If you're a Celtic band with Christmas or holiday music, whether a single or an album, please email me, follow@bestcelticmusic.net. And if you're a Celtic musician, send an email, follow@bestcelticmusic.net. You'll get a free ebook, and you can also find out how to subscribe to the podcast. So that's the end all and be all of emails. Just send that message to me. All right, we kicked off the show with the Friel sisters. They are one of the headliners for the 2024 Irish Fest Atlanta. I will hopefully have an interview coming for them in the next couple of weeks. I'm still trying to get the music from their new album available. But in the meantime, we kicked it off with It's in the Wind and the Laurel Trees and Repeal the Union from their album Before the Sun. Next up is Inches from Dublin by Kevin Meehan from Spanish Point.
so rare it's bad na he na warrior Minchin rare look so rare can you go no Minchin rare look so rare it's bad na he na warrior Minchin rare look so rare can you go no Get a Ceol my father wiper lo my crana Ceol I'm a Crean braver gana hon you go no Get a Ceol my father wiper lo my crana Ceol I'm a Crean braver gana hon you go no Minchin rare look so rare it's bad na he na warrior Minchin rare look so rare can you go no Minchin rare look so rare it's bad na he na warrior Minchin rare look so rare can you go no She upon the marahan go shock it there get even Io vai malanin in and can you go no She upon the marahan go shock it there get even Io vai malanin in and can you go no Minchin rare look so rare it's father he no warrior Minchin rare look so rare can you go no Minchin rare look so rare it's father he no warrior Minchin rare look so rare can you go no sorera kanti kan you go no Minchen rare and up so rare is father he the warrior Minchen rare and up so rare kanti kan you go no
Whiskey fire, that blessed stinking fire, Dublin's whiskey fire. Friends of Dublin, young and old, come round and hear me well. Of Chambers Street's great whiskey fire, a sobering tale I'll tell. When deep within the Liberties, a fire spread quickly on the breeze, brought the people to their knees for a little drink. A raging fire lit the leafy sky, making day of night. Flames reached to the streets below, trailing left and right. A warehouse called Malone's it found, soon barrels blew high off the ground. Poor squalling creatures ran around the cobblestones and kissed the whiskey fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, that blessed stinking fire, Dublin's whiskey fire. For hours the fiery chaos reigned, Irish whiskey ran. A flaming river burned the streets like hell revealed to man. But folk who liked their toddies hot filled hands and hats and boots and pots, imbibed their smoking balls of malt, shouting slaunch it to the fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, that blessed stinking fire, Dublin's whiskey fire. Then Captain Ingram soon was hailed to tame the whiskey fire. As water on its own it failed to blaze, now burning higher. To try to halt the flow for sure, he ordered sand and horse manure, made the call to build the walls, 10 Hail Marys to restrain the fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, that blessed stinking fire, Dublin's whiskey fire. Brave men of Dublin Fire Brigade to their orders went, use shovel, bucket, rake and spade till every man was spent. From horse shit, sand and gravel made their stinking fireproof barricades to quench the flames the day was saved. Heroes one and all who built the walls to tame the fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, that blessed stinking fire, Dublin's whiskey fire. For poor old Dublin's liberties, the end is bittersweet. For 13 of our people died from drinking off the street. And though we mourn the loss of lives from the whiskey fire of 75, thank God some whiskey stock survived. a comfort to us all. So here's to all who rang the bell, survived the flames, this tale to tell, 5,000 barrels blown to hell. Like burning rain it fell, like burning rain it fell. As fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, that blessed stinking fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, whiskey fire, Dublin's whiskey fire, whiskey fire, Dublin's whiskey fire.
After Kevin Meehan came Cherish the Ladies, the other headliner for Irish Fest Atlanta. I finally got to do an interview with Joni Madden, which will also be coming out in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. That was the Cameronian set. That's from their album One and All, the best of Cherish the Ladies. Then Dancing with Hobbits, Big Feet, Big Heart. That's from our album Dancing with Hobbits, which is now available online. You can stream it or buy the album over on my store at keltfather.net. And finally, we finish up the set with Enda Reilly with Whisky Fire, the Great Fire of Dublin from High Brasil. I want your feedback. What are you doing today while listening to the podcast? You can send a written comment along with a picture of what you're doing while listening. Email me at follow@bestcelticmusic.net. Renee St. Alban emailed, when is your next trip to Ireland to get the feel of music and culture? Renee, I am aiming for 2026 is my plan. So stay tuned for that. Details will come probably next summer once I have anything. Robin McDonald emailed from Wolf Creek, Oregon. Hi, Mark. I have been listening to your podcast, Irish and Celtic Music, on Amazon Prime. However, just within the last few weeks, it has completely disappeared. It will not even come up on search, which is crazy because your music CDs do. How odd. Do you get some sort of notification from Amazon Prime Music that your podcast was no longer going to be available? I will have to figure out a new way to listen, and I will. I just enjoy the convenience as I am not able to stream much music at work, bandwidth, but Amazon Prime Music seems to always work. Best regards. So I got this email right before I headed off to Scotland, and I was shaking my hands in frustration because Robin was absolutely right. First off, the show is no longer available on Amazon Music or Audible. And this seems to be a thing that happens with streaming music websites. So if you really love the podcast and you want to enjoy it, I would highly recommend that you get a podcatcher, a exclusive podcatcher. Things like Apple Podcasts is an exclusive podcatcher. But there's also Podcast Addict if you're on Android. That's a podcast exclusive app. And there are a whole bunch of other ones. I use Overcast when I'm listening. It's my favorite one, but that's iPhone only. So look for your favorite podcatcher. If you have one that is a podcast only app, let me know what it is, because I would love to add it, share it with other people on this show. Robin followed it up with, hello, Mark. Enjoy your trip. Thanks for getting back to me for the link. There's good news, though. Your Celtic Christmas podcasts are still available on Amazon Prime. Love it always, any time of the year. And I should point out, Robin, that it's very likely that Celtic Christmas music will also be pulled eventually, if not sooner, from those podcatchers. I think it's over on Spotify as well for now, because it is a music-only show largely. Now, Celtic Christmas actually is not the recent couple years. I've been doing more interviews and adding more talking content, which is something I've been considering as well. Maybe adding a monthly interview to this podcast in the future, but I'm still working on ideas in the meantime. But hopefully that podcast stays up there for a while in any case. All right, finally, Patrick Reiger emailed some photos. Hi, Mark. My family and I have been busy the past month with a stop at our favorite pub and 2 Renaissance festivals, so I'll be sending a few emails about the incredible musicians we enjoyed. August 24th, we went to Mulaney's Harp and Fiddle to see John McCain and Hamish. And an hour after they started, everyone, including John and Hamish, got a surprise. A third member of the Corned Beef and Curry Band dropped in Bob Bannereggi. Bob is the most incredible fiddle player I have ever seen, and he has an endless number of bad jokes. He is in the curry in the band's name, having been born in India. So for a few hours, this great band was back together. Irish musician Mark Geyser was in the audience that night and was invited onto the stage for a few songs. 2 wedding parties then dropped in for some post-reception fun. The energy, excitement, and fun hadn't been that high in the harp in a long time, and my wife and I only left because our son needed to go to bed. In one photo is the corned beef and curry band from left to right. John McCain, Bob Bannereggi, and Hamish, and in the other, Mark Geyser and Bob. They were playing Hallelujah with Mark singing. Thank you so much, Patrick, for sharing those pictures. You can go check those out for show number 682 of the podcast. Next up, we have some more music. It is Adam Agee and John Sousa with Foxhunter's Repeal, The Flowers of Red Hill. That's from their album gCarad.
his knit below the knee, and his bonnet in his blue jaw. Then up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman. My Plooman, he comes home at night, he's often wet and weary, take off the wet foot and the dry, and go to bed, my dearie. Then up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman. I will wash my Plooman sock, I will wash his orlay, I will make my Plooman's bed, and cheer him late and early. Then up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman. Well, I've been east and I've been west, and I've been at St. Johnstone, but the funniest sight that I saw was my Plooman laddie dancing. Then up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman. Snow white stockings on his legs, silver buckles glancing, a kid blue bonnet on his head, and over he was handsome. Then up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman. I will wash my Plooman sock, I will wash his orlay, I will make my Plooman's bed, and cheer him late and early. Then up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman. Oh, up with all my Plooman lads, high my merry Plooman, of all the trades that I take in, commend me to the Plooman.
In the darkness we arrive to greet the orphan girl every morning before 5, where the head frames a whirl as we drop into the black for our children and our wives. We hear the cage bells ringing for the orphan girl. Now daylight's but a dream for the orphan girl. We are following the gleam of the silver swirl. Set the charges, light the fuse, and blast another scene to keep the hammers swinging for the orphan girl. We toil around the clock with the orphan girl. We are busting up the rock that we heave and hurl. Then we push it down the track and to the loading dock to keep the smelters singing for the orphan girl. They come from all around to meet the orphan girl. To the chippy hoist they're bound, down the shaft they'll twirl, where the air is always cool and the timber stout and sound, and another heart is clinging to the orphan girl. If there's a mine for us, it's the orphan girl, where the rattle and the fuss of the steam drills skirl takes us deeper down the hole, closer to the devil's dust, for the bounty we'll be bringing from the orphan girl. In the darkness we arrive to greet the orphan girl every morning before 5, where the head frames the world as we drop into the black for our children and our wives. We hear the cage bells ringing for the orphan girl as we drop into the black for our children and our wives. We hear the cage bells ringing for the orphan girl.
I can hear boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout. I can hear boys, call that's black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. On St. Monday's day, it's well I do admire to be sitting at home by my oak coal fire. Then it's down to the pub for a glass or two, for to work on a Monday that would never do. I can hear boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout. I can hear boys, call that's black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. Well, I likes my whiskey and I like my beer. I'll drink 14 pints and I'll feel quite queer. I can hold my liquor good as any man, and I'll dance and sing as long as I can. I can hear boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout. I can hear boys, cold as black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. Well, my boy, he's 14, he's a strapping lad, and he'll go to the pit soon just like his dad. And when Friday comes, we'll pick up our pay, and we'll drink together to round out the day. I can hear boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout. I can hear boys, cold as black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. And it's when I die, I do know full well I'll not go to heaven, I am bound for hell. With my pick and shovel, Nicky will admire to set me here in call for his own hellfire. I can hear boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout. I can hear boys, cold as black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. I can hear boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout, I can hear boys call that's black and fine. I'm a carrier lad working down the mine.
After Agee and Sousa came Keltricity with the Plooman. That was from their album Live at Terra Firma Radio. Then La Famille LeBlanc with Suite à Tijo la Vol. That's from their album Would I Be Losing My Time. Then came Dublin Gulch with The Orphan Girl from Tapper Light. And we finished up the set with the Inland Seas I Can Hew from Down by the Greenwood Side. Thank you so much, patrons of the podcast. Because of your generosity, this show comes out each and every week. Your kindness pays for our engineer, graphic designer, Celtic Music Magazine editor, promotion of the podcast, and allows me to buy the music I play here. It also pays for my time in creating the show each and every week. As a patron, you get ad-free and music-only episodes before regular listeners. You get to vote in the Celtic Top 20. You get standalone stories. You can get a private feed to listen to the show, and you can listen through the Patreon app, all for as little as $1 per episode. A special thanks to our new and continued patrons of the podcast, Keith, Bruce K, Smack, Steve Pomper, and Donald Fletcher. Thank you so much for your generosity. Here is your 3-step plan to support the podcast. Number 1, go to our Patreon page. Number 2, decide how much you want to pledge per month. $1, $5, $25. Make sure you cap how much you want to spend per month, because you can do that quite easily. Number 3, keep listening to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast to celebrate Celtic culture through music. You can become a generous patron of the podcast on Patreon at songhenge.com. Sheridan Rúitín has a new single. It is Tell Me Ma, and here it is.
They pull my hair and they stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for her. Knocking at the door and ringing at the bell, saying, "No, my true love, are you well?" Out she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Jenny Murray says she'll die. She doesn't catch a fellow with the roving eye. Well, tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair and they stole my comb, but that's alright till I go
little boat floating round your castle moat. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. As long as I don't seem a threat, you're fine to let me be. If I drift too close, you'll let a warning arrow free. I will not raise a white flag, and neither will I flee. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. Looking for the cracks where I might climb inside, wondering where you keep the key and where your treasures hide. I've searched and failed so many times, I've no more foolish pride. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. At times you need to venture out, your gates no longer barred. Your vigil wanes a little as your sentries turn the guard. I know your walls were breached before and left your city scarred. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. Trust in me, won't see the past repeat. Show me all you hold so dear, I'll stay and don't retreat. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat. Just a simple little boat floating round your castle moat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Cray on the drums with us here in the Stout Pounders.
When I pray draw near now, and give ear to the words I'm going to say. I'm going to tell you the people of Ireland are emigrating to America. Oh yes, indeed they are emigrating. This poor country they can't stand. They put their foot on board of the ship and they're sailing off to the Yankee land. But the night before they are due for leaving, all the neighbours in the house do throng for to take a farewell glass, or otherwise to sing this song. And they danced all night till early morning, each man cutting all around the floor. Then mother she comes in, says weep and see our children to the door. And the father he looks all around the cabin, sees that he is all alone. Surely his poor heart is breaking, his salt tears could melt the stone. And a hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They put their foot on board of the ship and they're sailing off to the Yankee land. The other day as I went walking down the road I chanced to go, I saw a crowd to me approach, and it surely filled my heart with woe. For I saw the carriages and coaches rolling onward, forward to the train, and all their handkerchiefs were waving, bidding goodbye to Grania Whale. And a hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They put their foot on board of the ship and they're sailing off to the Yankee land. When they get to the New York harbor, friends will meet them with good cheer, saying how is all Ireland, how is she doing, and how is she coming along this year. Ah, she's the most distressed and cursed nation in this world that e'er was seen. All they're good for is process serving in that little Isle of Green. Oh yes, indeed they're emigrating from the land they love so dear. And any man that isn't married, well, the devil the wife he'll get next year. And a hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They put their foot on board of the ship and they're sailing off to the Yankee land. And a hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They put their foot on board of the ship and they're sailing off to the Yankee land.
After Sheridan Rúitín came Old Man Flanagan's Ghost with Simple Little Boat. That's from their album Simple Little Boat. Then Stout Pounders with Whisky Me Away from Live or Let Live. And we finish off the set with Sailing Off to the Yankee Land by Michael Darcy and the Atlantic Tramps from Down to the Roots. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you had a wonderful time. I will be back next week, and make sure you do cast your vote in the Celtic Top 20 for 2024. You can vote for as many songs and tunes that inspire you in each episode. Your vote helps me create next year's Best Celtic Music of 2024 episode. You have 3 weeks to cast your vote. We're going to finish up with the Ciderhouse Rebellion with Molly Donnery. This is My Father's Cabin Small from A Little Bit Slanted. I'll be back again soon. Sláinte.
Sure, 'tis of my father's cabin I will softly sing to you. The walls a little bit slanted and the thatch of golden hue. In the evening time we'd gather all the neighbours, one and all, from the heathery hills of Antrim to the slopes of Donegal. For the table is set, the tay is wet, there's currant cake galore, the likes of which I'm certain sure you've never seen before. The roof is not the highest and the windows they are small, but we'll sing and dance till morning in my father's cabin small. His name was Barney, he could make the fiddle sing, and my mother too, God rest her soul, could make the valleys ring with her songs of Irish bravery and her ballads of old men. They would echo from the meadow to the bottom of the glen. Now the table is set, the tay is wet, the punch is in the jug. There's not another cabin half so cozy or so snug. The roof is not the highest and the windows they are small, with the half door swinging freely, it's a welcome to you all. Oh, no more by Erin's bank, I'll sit upon the mossy strand, but pine away my weary years amongst a foreign land. And I've seen the mansions there, and they are so big and tall, but none compare to Ireland with my father's cabin small. The table is set, the tay is wet, there's currant cake galore, the likes of which I'm certain sure you've never seen before. The roof is not the highest and the windows they are small, but we'll sing and dance till morning in my father's cabin small. On the fire and the tay is in the mug. There's not an Irish cabin half so cozy or so snug. The roof is not the highest and the windows they are small, but we'll sing and dance till morning in my father's cabin small. Sure, we'll sing and dance till morning in my father's cabin small.
The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast is produced by Mark Gunn, the Celt Father, and our patrons on Patreon. The show is edited by Mitchell Peterson with graphics by Miranda Nelson Designs. Visit our website to follow the show. You'll find a link to all the artists in the episode. Todd Wiley is the editor of the Celtic Music Magazine. Subscribe to get 34 Celtic MP3s for free, plus you'll get 7 weekly news items about what's happening with Celtic music and culture online. Please tell one friend about the podcast. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to support any creative endeavor. Finally, remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, and think about how you can make a positive impact on your environment. Promote Celtic culture through music at CelticMusicPodcast.com. Finally, I have one more thing I want to share. Mark Gunn and the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast proudly endorse Vice President Kamala Harris as the next President of the United States of America. I know these are partisan times, but I firmly believe Harris is the best person to strongly lead our country to a better future for all Americans. She also has an actual plan to make our already robust economy even stronger so we can actually feel the robustness of it. She also has a career of protecting the rights of women. Whether you agree or not, please vote in this year's election. Your vote matters, and it is how democracy stays strong. Thank you so much. Sláinte.